Hi YouTube, I hope everyone's doing wonderful, and I just wanted to make a quick little potent video regarding rest and what godly rest looks like and really how you should be resting. So I just want to start with this. There's a difference between resting out of burnout and resting out of rhythm, and I'll give you an example. So in my own life, about 2 years ago, I was constantly running on E. I thought that I only deserved to rest once I burnt myself out of work. I was constantly making a lot of money. I was, hustle bustle culture, living in LA, and I still live in LA, but it's so easy to get into that hustle mode to where you think that you only deserve rest when you're burnt out. And I found that when I would rest only when I'm burnt out, after like a week or two of working straight, and then I had one full day to myself to rest, it's like, okay, since I wasn't creating a rhythm to rest, I was constantly like recovering. Every time after I'd rest, I need at least 2 or 3 days to really recover away from people because I was go, go, go for like a week or two straight. And I realized that when you hustle bustle like that, it really wastes your time in the long run because you're spending so much time recovering as opposed to creating a rhythm of rest, which is what I'm teaching in this video, and this is what God convicted me of personally. So let's say you work for like a couple days or maybe a week straight, and then you have a full day of rest, right? And then you work for another week straight, full day of rest, another week straight, full day of rest. Or let's say you work for 2 days straight, then you have a full day of rest, 2 days straight, full day of rest, see? Or let's say you work every day, but after 9 p.m. each day, you literally dedicate that time to rest, watch TV, whether it be watching your favorite show, eating, cooking, and then finally sleeping after an hour or two of that. And then let's say you're like from 9 to 6 a.m., you're just like all your time. That's also a rhythm of rest. So creating a rhythm of rest that works for you is essential, because if you operate out of burnout like I was doing and like we've all done from time to time, you're literally wasting time in the long run, because and you're also compromising your health because you're not going to be able to recover as quickly. You want to make sure that when you go to sleep every night, or just whenever you go to sleep, you want to make sure that you're not so burnt out to where you can't think or do anything physically or mentally. You want to make sure that you still have some energy, but you're deciding to rest, and that's a conscious decision that you're making, because you're just like, okay, I'm resting because I did all the work for today and I deserve to rest. And you deserve to rest. You deserve to rest when you're not burnout. You deserve to rest when you did all you needed to do that day for work, and even through errand wise or family wise, like you deserve to rest after all that. Don't believe the lie of the enemy that you can only rest when you're burnout, when you have nothing left, when you're running on E. That is a lie from the pit of hell. And I just want you to break out of that today by watching this video and just realize that, hey, you deserve to just settle down for the day. You deserve to have 1 day a week of Sabbath. And God even rested on the Sabbath day. It's not that God needed to rest, but he's creating an example for us to have a full day a week to where we fully rest, dedicate time to ourselves, whether it's errands, whether it's watching our favorite TV show, whether it's fixing food, whether it's cooking with our family, like whatever that is for you, you need to do that every single week. But also create a rhythm of that every day, like whether you watch your favorite show for an hour every day after work and then finally hit the sack. Like you need to create a rhythm of rest for you. And whatever that time period is, whether it's 5 hours, whether it's 10 hours. I'm a 10-hour sleep girl, but I also need a good hour or two before bed to really wind down. So I would say I need a good 12 hours each day to really just have me time to reset. Also, I'm an empath, so it's like I get drained easily and I recharge more so when I'm alone. So depending on if you're an introvert, which means you recharge more so when you're alone, or an extrovert, which means you recharge around people or your best friend, aka being accompanied by a partner, like you need to know whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, how to recharge and what rest really looks like for you. And I encourage you to, research or take a quiz online, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. And I promise you guys that you will find some more answers for yourself. But anyways, I want to wrap up this video. It's a short and sweet video, but so powerful as always. And please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. And also just know that you deserve to rest. God wants you to create a rhythm of rest that works for you. And just know that, you don't need to wait till you're burnout. In fact, you shouldn't, because in the long run, it really compromises your health and you don't want to do that. So make sure that you're resting every day, set aside 1 day a week of Sabbath. And I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for watching this video. Shalom, shalom. And make sure you prioritize your rest. And also, I want to say one more little nugget before I go. So God also showed me recently that the more I rest, the more he blesses me. because God blesses those who rest. And when you rest, you're also trusting in the Lord that while you're sleeping, while you're watching that favorite TV show, while you're literally doing the activities that fill your soul and refresh your soul and your emotions and your mentality, God literally blesses you and works behind the scenes and creates everything that works out for your good. That's part of trusting God, is resting and knowing when to rest and knowing how to be in tune with your body so strongly that you know that you humble yourself, because it's a sign of humbleness when you're resting. Knowing when to be humble and knowing when to rest and be like, okay, I take my hands off the wheel. I let Jesus take the wheel today and for the rest of the day. And I'm just going to rest, and I'm just going to trust that everything I did in my control today is finished and God is going to do the rest. So it's part of letting go and letting God, law of detachment. It's part of trusting God when you rest. So look at it that way. It's part of humbling yourself, knowing that God will do the rest and you can only do so much, you know. And also it's just, you know, knowing that like when you rest, God is working everything out for your good, but God is also doing things behind the scenes that you don't know about. Like when you don't see it, when you don't feel it, when you don't even, you know, when you're not even aware of it, God is working. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys with that today, because sometimes we can think, we get so prideful. It's out of pride that we don't rest, and it's out of humbleness and trusting God that we do rest. So I just wanted to give you that little nugget. But anyways, have a good day. Shalom. Bye.